let's just keep people on their toes.
Too late. Oh, actually, no. Actually, I can. Hold on. I can do it. What's up, everybody? Welcome to not Hot Book Alert, but we're doing. Oh shoot! Hold on, I gotta remove that. Hold on.
All right, we need to redo.
I messed it up already, man. Dang. I'm trying to get this. Okay, hold on. Okay, here we go. We're getting close. Yeah. Okay, so this is not Hot Book Alert, but this is long story short. This is episode 125. This is very impromptu. Yeezeeyee is out for today, and he was not able to basically put the show together. And then I wasn't able to get the link for Nearing Nerdvana, but he suggested that I put it on my channel, and here we are. So this is very last minute.
Do not adjust your sets. You're in the right place.
Yes. But joining me is Mr. Longshort. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Thank you for doing this, Carter. We wanted to get a show out to you guys tonight. And we might not have one next week, but tonight we are live on Mersonaut's channel. If for whatever reason you aren't subscribed to his channel, I don't know what you're doing with your lives, but here's your opportunity. Subscribe now. And yeah, man. So we've got a bit of a different show tonight. Tonight we are checking in on all. Let me check that. Most of the modern big bangers, where they're selling for now, where they have been selling, and just a fun conversation. So a lot of the books you see tonight, we've talked about in the past, but these are all of the major modern books that go for big money. So it'll be a fun show. We got a lot to talk about, and yeah, we're going to get right into it.
Yes. And I'm going to promote. Hold on. I'm going to promote. Okay, so here's my channel here. The channel that you're watching right now. Okay, so, and I just did a comic haul video yesterday. So I went through some free comic book day stuff from last month. Found some really good, like, rare late modern books. I showed off. I talked about the process for Heritage Comics, buying and bidding. So check that out. And also, Hot Book Alert Live was last Sunday, and then we have another episode coming up this Sunday, 9:00 Eastern. So that's my promotion. I'm plugging. Okay, now onto with the show.
All right. Yeah, guys, if you are following Carter, you've got to reassess what you're doing with your lives. Yes. One of the best channels out there. His recent haul, badass as always. All right, let's get into it.
All right.
So let's start off with maybe the biggest of the modern variants. Amazing Spider-Man 667. This book goes for a lot of money. So this is obviously a Delato 1 in 100. A 9.8 of this sold earlier this year for $28,800. So still commanding a shit ton of money for this thing. The high was $43,000 back in 2022. So, you know, by all accounts, it's hung in there reasonably well. As most comics have gotten pretty beaten up. Still only 81 of these on the census, so low census count, and 28 9.8s. But this is a big boy for sure for the Spider-Man collectors, and 29K basically still, not terrible. What do you think, Carter?
Respectable prices. Very.
Yeah. This is probably one of the, if not the toughest Spider-Man variants of the modern era, but we are going to get into some more a little bit later. But here we are, 29K down from 43. Not terrible. All right. What do we got?
Next.
All right. This is a special book. I actually don't even think we've ever talked about this one on Long Story Short, but this is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 3. This is the exclusive that came from the 1985 New Hampshire Comic-Con. It was limited to about 300, they estimate. A 9.8 sold for, and this book doesn't show up in 9.8 very often, but a 9.8 sold for 25K back in 2021. That is still the high price in this book, so we haven't seen another sale. Only 7 of those on the census, 234 total, which means that the vast majority of these have been graded. And just if you ever want to distinguish this one from the original, the only way to do it is really, if you look under the RTL in Turtles, you see Lairds in white. The original, that is in blue tones, not in white lettering. That's really the only way to distinguish this book.
Really?
Yeah.
So it doesn't have no real special distinction other than,
there's no con stamp. There's nothing. It's really, that's the only way you can tell that it was different. That Lairds, you can see it there, is in white, and the other versions it's in just light blues and whatever. That's the rest of the color scheme of the cover.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull up a Ninja Turtles number 3 and see what we can find.
One of the original, like one of the
just
OGs?
Just the original.
I bought the OG of this recently.
Yeah.
Only because I'm not the biggest Turtle fan, but I do really appreciate the cover.
Okay, so here.
Yeah, you see that there. You see how it's kind of like bluish and whatever.
Yeah.
But on the slide that we had, that I'd shown, it's much more white.
Oh, geez, that little difference.
I mean, that's the only way you can really tell.
Holy cow! So, okay, so which one would you rather have?
Oh, this one is. That book is a go. That book is a go.
The Ninja Turtles 3 or the ASM Delato in a 9.8.
Oof, that's a trick. I'm gonna say I'm not the biggest Turtles. It's a tough one because there's such a huge Spidey contingent, but this book is far rarer. Is far rarer. So
yes. So
this is my copy. I don't have mine. This is not the limited one. This is just the regular. But you can see in the back that Laird is not in white. It's very much in the blue tones. But
now, is there a way to maybe counterfeit that?
I mean, anything is possible, dude. In this day and age, you got to be careful.
Or even just to take an original number 3, regular number 3, and maybe just kind of white out that little part.
I mean, imagine a black light or something would pick up on that. You know what I mean? But if you're just at a store and you see it, yeah, man, you could get suckered, I suppose.
Okay. Yeah, it's just that, man. That's just that, that little bit of a difference.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, that makes me uneasy. I don't know why.
For this kind of money, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. One of the biggest modern variants, Siege number 3, by the legendary J. Scott Campbell. A 9.8 sold recently for this, late last year, for almost $2,900. The high on this thing was in summer of 2023 for $6,000. Only 150 of these on the census, 91 9.8s. And Carter, I know you had a shot at this book, but if I'm not mistaken, you let George take it.
Yeah. So I was at a show a few years ago where there was a Marvel, a store had bought a Marvel collection and they brought it to the convention, and that Delato was in there actually. That Spidey Delato, it was in that collection, and somebody got
when you were looking, or had it been sold already?
I think it was, maybe it was there when we were looking. I can't remember, but yeah, but the Siege 3 and the Wolverine #1 Deadpool cover, those were up on the wall, and they were, I think, like maybe $1,000 a piece. I can only afford one at the time, so I picked the Wolverine. And George, I showed him pictures, and he hightailed it. He was on the way anyway, but he hightailed it even more so to the convention, to the show, and he bought the Siege 3.
Nice. And I don't have the Wolverine on the show tonight. I meant to put it on, and I forgot about it.
I sold that Wolverine. I sold that one.
Now, for everybody who remembers, right, these books, in order to get these books, you had to send Marvel a bunch of DC covers from specific books, right? These weren't ratios.
Mm-hmm.
You had to like tear off the covers of books and send them to them. So they were playing a game on these, this one and the Wolverine. So
that's just super mean. That's mean.
super tough to get, and books of basically mythic proportion at this point, but I've never seen this book in the wild. For $1,000 I would have pulled the trigger on this one, but to this day I've never seen this book in the flesh. So
hell yeah.
All right. We got Yee in the house. Aaron, good to see you, buddy. We miss you tonight, brother.
Where is he? Oh, here he is. Yeah. Oh, what's up from Florida? You're in Florida. Yeah, that's right.
We got a lot of the crew in the house tonight. They all found us. We got Igor, we got Liger, we got Mike, we got Bruce, we got Jeffrey. So thank you all for tuning in tonight, for finding us. This is not Sunday. Don't check your watches. It is in fact still Thursday, but we're running the show on Cardo's channel tonight, just to give you guys something to watch.
Yes.
All right. The big book from the pandemic years, Ultimate Fallout 4, the Marko Djurdjevic 125. A 9.8 sold for this late last year for $10,000. The high is $43,000 back in January of 2023. That is, by a friend that we know on the show, Steve Horn. That was his sale. Less than 1,000 of these on the census still. And what I want to say about this book is, listen, obviously Miles is not Peter, but if you compare the census count of this book to AF-15, there's like 10 times as many AF-15s. Like, for me, this book is still a buy at the right price. I want to emphasize that, at the right price.
Yes.
Only 229 9.8s. But I would, I'm in the market for this book at the right price.
Well, I still have my copy that's in a 9.8. And I don't know. I probably won't let it go. I wouldn't let it go now. You know what I'm saying? But
I would hang on to it, man. Honestly, like I don't know if it gets back to 43.
Yeah.
But to me, this book's probably worth more than 10 grand. And Miles, if they do him right, like he's a cool character. Like he could have some longevity in the mainstream. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Liger, I'm with you, man. I've got the facsimile. That's the closest I've got is Dennis's facsimile. Although I did have this book and I sold it early on in the pandemic for $750. Had a big crease, like a 2-inch crease through the lower corner, but I did have it at one point. I regret selling it.
I know. Okay, so what's it? Oh yeah, Michael and I, we were at a local store, relatively local to us, and this is like maybe 10 years ago ish, and that thing had been up on the wall for, I want to say, at least a few months for like $100, and we're talking this 1 in 25 variant. And we just hemmed and hawed, and then it was just gone afterwards, and then it blew up.
Joe, I hear what you're saying. It's overrated. I hear you, but if I see, so I've got 3 boys. I see how they responded to the Miles video game, how they responded to the movie. I just wouldn't sleep on this. Like maybe it's not for our generation, but the generation behind us, they dig Miles. They think he's pretty freaking cool. So
Yeah. Shoot. Yeah, because I mean, I can't say I'm the biggest Miles fan, even though I have this, but at the same time, the next generation ain't us, and we aren't. I guess the point that I wanted to say is we are not the market, and we are not the future market. You know what I mean?
Agreed. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and the character is those animated movies were cool movies. Like they're fun, they're enjoyable. Like the character can't stand on his own. So I'm not dropping 10 grand on a 9.8 personally.
No.
My point is if I see this book raw for the right price, I'll probably be interested in it. But we'll see. We'll see where it goes. Who the hell knows?
Yes.
All right.
What's next?
All right. For all the people who don't want to talk about Miles, you can tune out for 5 minutes. But this is my favorite Miles book. I think it's super cool looking. This is Miles Morales Ultimate Spider-Man #1. This is his second solo series. Wasn't a superly heavily ordered series at the time. Fiona Staples did the cover on this one. A 9.8 sold for $3,350 just this month, which is respectable. I do have this in 9.8. The high on this was 6,600 back in June of 2022. Copies in the census. I guess I forgot to fill this in, but it's not a super high. I think. I can pull it up real quick if anybody cares, but it's probably. I think this is like a 200 type census book. Hold on, give me 1 second. Still goes for a very respectable amount. All right, give me 1 second here. Census count on this book for those who are curious is 206 total. 150 and 9.8. So not a high census count book by modern standards by any means. This animation is kind of right out of the movie in some ways. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What do we have next? All right. One of my very favorite of the modern variants, personally. Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider #1 by Shi-Hung Lee. This is a 1 in 100. A 9.8 sold just this month for $900, which is not a terrible deal. The high on this thing was almost $3,000, $2,640 back in August of 2022. 303 on the census, 224 9.8. And I'm happy to say I have a 9.8 of this. I remember winning this thing at an auction on eBay for like $200, thinking I had no chance of getting it, and ended up winning. And I was just like floored. I didn't expect it to show up because it was going for way more at the time. Have you ever had this one, Carter?
No. I've never had this one.
I don't know why. I don't think I'll let this one go. For me, this one's staying in the PC.
What is? Oh yeah, my
it was slabbed. It came back in 9.8. It was so mint when I got this. I thought foolishly that I might get it better than a 9.8 in it, but they don't do that for normal people. But and the irony is that when I won this, it came with a second book. It came with a 1 in 50 Clayton Crane. I think it was a 1 in 50 autographed.
I don't know why. It looks like she's looking at the NYX #3 scene. That's what it looks like. Dude, she's looking.
You know what's funny? I've never heard anybody say that.
It does it not look like she's looking over at X23?
Maybe she's seeing her on the corner saying, "Man, this poor girl's about to get."
Maybe I should save her. I don't know. That's what it looks like to me. I don't.
Dude, I mean, it's a rainy day like that. Dude, I've never heard anybody make that connection before, but that's fucking crazy. Holy shit!
It's a connecting cover.
I love this book so much, though. But 900 was a reasonable buy-in. You don't see this thing go for less than $1,000 that often in 9.8.
She's using wired headphones because we know. She's using wired headphones because we know, like the unwired, the non-wired headphones. They're like they'll mess with your brain.
The rain is gonna fuck them all up, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going through the big book. Listen, and by the way, like, please don't come at me for the books on this list. At least these are the books that sell for big bucks. Like, I don't set the market on this shit, man. Like, I'm just reporting the news here. So, all right, The Amazing Spider-Man #678. Irony of this book, of course, is that Mary Jane has actually become Venom. This is not just like a fun, playful cover. She actually is Venom in the modern day. For whatever reason, Marvel thought that was a good idea. This is a Joe Quinones 1 in 50 variant. A 9.8 sold for $5,100 last summer in August of 2024. Which is a big ticket still for this book. And a 9.8, the high 9.8 for this one for $7,000 early January 2023. Only 48 9.8s of this, which is amazing. Of the 234 on the census. I have seen this book in the wild and passed up on it. I mean, they were asking a full price for it. It wasn't like I just, passed on it for nothing. But
I remember getting this off of My Comic Shop for $20.
No shit, $20.
Yeah, this. I mean, you remember? I mean, like that time.
I remember when they used to release them like that back in the day, but
well, I mean, because you could get, because hell, I remember seeing Ultimate Fallout 4's the variants sell for like $8.
yeah, the Ultimate Fallout
what I
4s
mean?
early on were going for nothing. Yeah,
But I'm talking like after certain variants get hot for whatever reason, my comic shop. I don't think they do it now, but they were always at least a year or two behind. It was wild. Yeah. Like I remember picking up so many like variants. Hell, I got the freaking that pink Black Cat variant for I think I got that for $7. And this was after it got hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but $7, dude. That's a crime, honestly.
And yeah, and I picked this up after for $20 after it was like a $400+ book.
Do you still have it, or did you sell it?
No, I sold it.
What'd you get for it? Do you remember?
Oh gosh, I don't remember, but I think maybe probably over $1,000 for it.
No shit.
Yeah,
raw or did you grade it?
No, it was raw.
It was raw. Holy
raw.
Shit. Well,
but this is a long time ago though. So
well, fucking done. Holy shit.
And hell, and I remember after selling it, I just missed out because my comic shop had sold another one for $20 a few years later. It's fucking wild, man.
Those were the fucking days, man.
Yeah, they ain't doing it now, but I remember that time. Good times.
Yeah, good times. But yeah, as Lager pointed out, it could have worked if they had done it better, but it's literally just her fucking having therapy with her. I don't know if you've read this. Like, don't read it. It's so fucking with her loser boyfriend Paul, like with a fucking therapist. It's I don't know who is greenlighting this shit, but my fucking god, Marvel, get your shit together.
Paul. I hear a lot about Paul.
Dude, this guy he's just a legit loser, and it's actually getting funny because like Dylan, like they're adopting Dylan, Eddie Brock's son, and he's giving Paul shit for being a loser. So
jeez,
I don't know
seriously?
who the fuck came up with this character, but the fucking dude sucks.
So he's gonna be a villain or some point. That's his villain story. Catching so much shit.
He's too much of a puss to be a villain. I mean, my god. I mean, like.
It seems like that character is an aggregate for like the current Marvel staff. An amalgam. I got to imagine because I bet you they don't see anything wrong with Paul.
Who doesn't? The Marvel doesn't see anything wrong with him?
Right? Yeah. Whoever the Marvels,
they're lost. They're fucking lost.
I bet you they see Paul and his pussy like ways, and they're just like, he's fine, and they don't think anything's wrong with him.
Well, I don't necessarily disagree with you, but fucking A, man, like.
No, okay. If they had made Mary Jane's Venom exactly like this,
yeah, but she looks like a dude. I mean, I think we talked about this on your show, Carter.
Yeah.
I mean, she looks like a dude in there. Like it's like a jacked, like dude Venom. Like there's no like she's not a female.
She should have looked like this.
I mean, if this it probably would have hit.
Yeah. This would. I mean, I could like okay. So after you get over the initial shock and the surprise, then you would think, okay, then they'd soften the features. You know what I mean?
Maybe that hasn't happened yet, but like I don't know, man. Like I don't
like maybe the very next issue. Let me see if I can find a picture.
I mean, just do a knockoff of this. Do a fucking knockoff of a variant of this book, and it will move.
Okay, so this looks grotesque. This literally looks like someone got surgery. You know what I mean?
It's ridiculous, man.
This is awful. And this is not, there's nothing attractive about this.
No, nothing. Like at all.
So, like he said, like how many issues are we?
into Venom. I think it just hit like 7 or 8 like this week or something like that. It's terrible. Like it's fucking. And Al Ewing is going to keep going with it. Like this is not meant to be like a flash in the pan thing. Like this is a story he wants to tell.
Al Ewing. I always think, because I don't know what Al Ewing looks like. I think Al Ewing looks like a white version of Patrick Ewing.
Listen, Mike, I'm going to try not to rant so much, but god damn it, sometimes I can't help myself.
Now he says he loves it. Got to keep it going.
I know. But like,
keep that shit going. Let's see what else triggers you.
All right.
All right. What's next?
What do we got? All right. Another major ASM variant. I wish Dina was on. He is a big fan of this book. He's come close to it a few times, but ASM 688, the Campbell 1 in 50 variant. A 9.2 sold last month for $750. A 9.2. A 9.8. The high 9.8 sold for just over $3,000 late in 2021. 196 on the census. 49 and 9.8. Mike, you have this one? Holy shit, man! Congrats. This is a tough
one. Huh? Oh no, the A cover.
Oh,
he only has an A cover. If he had this, I would have known.
Yeah. All right, Joe's got it.
Nice. Okay, now I'm noticing the vast majority of these variants are from that like 2009, 10.
This is like 2011. I want to say like the dead era for Marvel.
Yeah, that variant sweet spot era. That's what it sounds like. That's what it seems like to me. But I've been after this for a long time. I don't think I've ever like seen a sniff of this, which is a shame.
Yeah, man, this is super cool. I'd buy this thing at the right price, but I'm a cheap bastard, so the right price is well below what anybody's willing to sell it to me for. So
you got to stealth buy it, find it and stealth buy it.
All right, yeah, the show tonight, for anybody tuning in late, the show tonight, we're just going through the big modern bangers and seeing where they sold, where they're at. So we've talked about these books before, but a bit of a different vibe for episode 125.
Yes.
All right. What do we got? All right. This one goes out to our boy Bruce. This thing, I know this book is rare, but the fact that there's 44 on the census, 24 9.8, blows my mind a little bit. I know Bruce has got this one. I'll credit myself with the assist on this one for him. Bruce, much love, bro. So this is a Djurdjevic 1 in 75, a 9.8 sold way back in 2023. So this book doesn't ever show up for $2,300. A 9.8 sold for $4,000 back in 2022 for the high. Like I said before, 44 on the census, 24 9.8. But just a true ghost modern book.
Yes. I know I don't have it.
I don't have it, but I will say I had a shot at this book for about $300, but I know how badly our boy Bruce wanted this, and I said, "Hey, listen, man, this book is available. Buy it now for 300-ish." I remember the exact. You remember it, Bruce? But I sent it to him saying, "Man, if you want this, grab it. If not, I'm going to take it," and he grabbed it. I took one for the team, which I'm happy to do. He's a huge X-23 fan, but this is a tough book, super tough book.
Is Marko Djurdjevic still around?
He's done a few like odds and ends here and there, but like not the volume of work you'd expect, given what he was knocking out at this point in time.
because I'm just kind of because I noticed like not a lot of production out of him. I don't know. Let me see. Marko Djurdjevic now. What's he doing? Okay. Boop, 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 boop. Here we go. All right, let me try to zoom in. Oops, sorry. Zoom in. Okay, Marko Djurdjevic is a highly regarded artist, currently known for his creative director of the studio, which special 6 which specializes in. So maybe he's a creative director. I don't know. That's what he's doing now.
Much love, Bruce. Much love, brother. More than happy to hook you up, man. Thank you. And thank you for hooking me up with a book that we'll talk about later on this show.
But yeah, I don't know how current these are, but so this is from September. So this is from 2020. So
it's
he's
a
not.
lifetime ago, man.
Yeah.
Something happened to the dude?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out. What happened? What happened to WHATHAPPENEDTO Marko Djurdjevic? AI, give me the answer.
Marko active, this says.
He previously worked for Marvel as a cover artist. He had a disagreement with Marvel, according to one source. He spoke negatively about the comics and gaming industries. He may have considered the content below his skill level. Recent activities include a recent variant cover by him, which might be older work. YouTube video from October 2024. My friend Marko Djurdjevic suggests he is still active. Okay. Interesting.
He was doing every connecting cover for a period of time. So, all right.
Hold on. Okay. Next.
Well, if we're going to talk about this book, we got to talk about the 1 in 25.
You know what? I like how you're flowing.
You like this?
One thing jumps to it. One thing leads to another, leads to another, leads to another, leads to another. I like this. I
do my best. I do my best to give the show some flow in the show. So this is a beautiful Delato 1 in 25. We all remember how freaking hot this book was. The recent 9.8 of this sold for $1,500. I think we talked about this on Hot Book Alert, right?
I think so. But we definitely have talked about this.
You were like, I'm not letting mine go for that price.
Absolutely not.
For $1,500 in May of this year, the high of this went for $2,600, which I thought would have been higher, but that seems to be the number. Back in 2021, just under 300 of these on the census, 169 and 9.8. The only issue with this book was they fucked with it because they released that was it a store exclusive? The
X-Men Red.
Yeah.
They repurposed the art on this.
They shouldn't do that shit, man. You know what I mean? Like,
that's scuzzy. To me, it just shows a lack of, or rather, creative bankruptcy.
Well, that's what Marvel is about right now because, all of their banger covers, they release as a trade dress and then a virgin. Like, just let them stand on their own as like a virgin if that's your best cover.
Leave it alone. But this one, I remember being after for a hell of a long time. And then when I finally found it, got it graded, came back at 9.8. So, but this one for me is staying in the collection. It ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, it's a great book, man. I love it. I don't have it, but I will buy it at the right price if I ever find it.
I don't know this, but overall, like I'm glad I have some of these books on here. But overall, this list is very triggering for me.
Well, that seems to be the case with the chat as well. Igor's go like full like Hulk rage on us, but let's keep it going because we got more. Young Allies number 6. I mean, this is one of the biggest of the modern books. This is an Art Adams 1 and 15. A 9.6 sold for $1,500 last month. A 9.8 sold for $4,700 late last year. Only 7 9.8s on the census of this book. 42 total. Like, this book is super tough to get.
Been on my want list for, I want to say, around 10 years now.
Yeah. I mean, I've wanted this book for far too long. And if I had known where the price of this book was going, I would have paid up for it 5 years ago.
For sure.
7
Oh,
years
God,
ago.
yeah. Those
this book has gone fucking nuclear.
Those classic Art Adams heavy titties. These might be the heaviest I've seen from Art Adams.
Yet they're still defying gravity in some ways. I mean,
Milkers.
Yeah, this book is super, super, super tough. And he did a few of these profile books, right? So he did The Magic, New Mutants 25, I think it was, and then The Scarlet Witch, which I can't remember what that was.
Oh gosh, yeah, I forget. I think I have it, but I totally forget myself. Yeah,
I have The Scarlet Witch. Is the only of the 3 that I have.
Yeah,
which is probably the easiest of the 3 to get. But yeah, this book is an animal, a fucking animal.
Mm-hmm. Oh, did we ever talk about like the possible print run for this?
I've looked into it before. So this was the last issue of the series. The fact that they're doing a 1 in 15, I think it was less than 10,000 of ordered. So you're talking about a super, like, nobody was ordering 15 copies of this book.
Yeah,
that's the issue. And this was in the era where Marvel wasn't goosing the numbers, right? There was no store exclusives. There was nothing to boost it. They were being more honest about those ratios. All right.
So probably less than 600, if that.
Oh, far less. Yeah, it's a couple hundred. So I would say a couple hundred total tops. All right. So Batman 608. This is the Jim Lee RRP, legendary modern book by any objective measure. The last 9.8 of this was almost $7,000 back in January. That is also the high sale of this book. So an absolute just must have for modern collectors if you can afford it. 84 9/8, which is super low for a modern book. And I guess because they gave these out at that round table, so people just maybe kick the shit out of them going home. I don't know. 361 total. But this is not a book you're going to come across very often.
All I've got.
You never had this, did you, Benny?
Hell no.
Yeah,
man.
So this book is like another. Yeah.
This is another trigger for me. This one. You know what? I never knew. I think it took me a couple of years to realize that this book existed, because I was all over Batman 608, right?
Yeah, we all were. Right? Totally. Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it might have taken me a while to realize this existed.
Well, it came out, I don't know how long. It came out a bit after the original released, and it was only available at these, round tables. So, like, people knew at the time it was sought after. Like, you never had a shot at this book at a fair price, I guess is the best way to put it.
Right. Yeah, I think the closest I've ever come is the second print.
Yeah, the second print is sweet in its own right.
Love it.
All right. What do we got next? All right, Carter, I know you love this book.
Love it.
So This is Teen Titans number 75. This is an Adam Hughes 1 in 25 variant. Very difficult book to find. Some people find 2 of these in the back issue bins, but that doesn't happen very often. I saw the first copy of this ever in the wild this year for $600, and it was scuffed to fuck. And I couldn't pull the trigger as badly as I wanted to. Raw of this sold for $750 last month $750 last month. The high 9.8 on this, I thought it was higher, but for whatever reason, $1,700 late last year, 2024, just over 100 on the census, 43 9.8.
You know what I appreciate about this? The comics code is on there. Do you see that?
Yeah, that's a good.
It's right underneath them big ass tits. You got the comics code on it. That's what I like. That's
just to remind you that this book is decent.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody talks about the man hands in this book. I hear what you're saying, but I don't see it. Like, it doesn't distract me. Everybody's obsessed with it. It would not stop me from buying this book.
Absolutely not.
What
were you gonna say?
I hear what people are saying, but like, I just like brush it off. It doesn't, for me, it doesn't register.
So which one would you rather have? This book in a 9.8 or the X-23 Delato?
Oof. This one versus the Delato. No, this one versus the Djurdjevic.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the Djurdjevic.
Oh, wow.
It's close, but probably the Djurdjevic. I love this book. I love the colors on it. I love everything about it.
Yeah, because I remember at the time this was easily my favorite variant before I even had this. Easily my favorite variant, and yeah, this is another one that's staying in the collection.
Yeah, as it should. It's a great book. Is yours graded or is it still raw?
No, it's a 9.8.
Nice. All right. Let's keep the show rolling because there's a lot of books on the show tonight. All right. This is high on my list of wants. Amazing Spider-Man presents Black Cat number 1. This is a J. Scott Campbell 1 in 25. This is his first take at Black Cat, if I'm not mistaken. A raw of this sold for $700 last month. I did not see that sale. I would have been activated if I did. The high 9.8 of this sold for $2,500 early in 2024. 204 copies of this on the census, 128 in 9.8. Yeah, I love this book. And I know, Carter, I know you have this fucking book.
I have it. See, this is the book that I bought for $7 off of my comic shop, and they had it marked as a 7.5.
They do have a tendency to undergrade, like, so if you ever buy from them, they tend to be very conservative in their grading.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, so I've got this graded at, I think I graded at the same time as the whatchamacallit, the I think as at Teen Titan 75 and the X-23, and y'all came back 9.8.
Sounds like a damn good submission. Damn.
That was the biggest blessing right there. I don't think that was a run that I don't think will ever be matched for me personally. Never.
Dude, the price you paid for those books and then what you got back in grades, goddamn. That's why we played the game, for that little run right there.
Yeah, oh god, yeah. I've been chasing that high since.
Yeah, this book is phenomenal. I've got like a German version of this. It's the closest I've ever got, but
so you're
high on the list one day.
Okay, so this predates Spidey 601. Or rather 606
7 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe And I was just talking with Defoe, Brian Defoe. Sorry, Defoe at Cover Price about this, and he said that this was the first time Campbell ever drew Black Cat, and then he went on a love affair with her ever since.
Damn. Okay. Nice.
Brian Defoe. I mean, freaking Matt Defoe. I need to get some rest, but all right, let's keep the show going. All right, is this the king of modern variants? I don't know. Many people would say yes, but Legion of Superheroes, Supergirl Legion of Superheroes, number 23, Losh 23, as is affectionately known. This is just a 1 in 10 by Adam Hughes. A 9.8 sold last month for $1,300. High 9.8 is $1,800. 608 in the census, so not crazy high, but not crazy low. 326 and 9.8. But this, for me, is one of the greatest modern variants ever.
This was another one. I've got a raw copy of this. I don't think it'll grade at a 9.8. But I like this a lot.
This book is hard not to.
I'll say I like the Teen Titans 75 better.
Really?
Yes. I love that one.
This edges that out. There's just something about the composition of this that is virtually perfect. But I appreciate that the Teen Titans is tougher to come by in terms of.
Yeah, they were both. They were both bitches to find, but we got them. I don't know, for whatever reason, this one still feels cheap. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. And this is the kind of book that, when you're buying books, right, you have to think about who's holding them. And when people buy this book, the vast majority are not buying it for the flip. They're buying to keep it.
Yes.
Right. And for that, I think this book has legs. But we'll see. I have a very high grade raw that I plan to submit at some point. But I love this book.
I'll say I like the Teen Titans 75 better just because I don't know. I like the composition of Starfire, and you get more characters in the background. That's pretty much the only reason. I mean, it's like it edges it just slightly. You know what I mean? That's all.
Yeah, I mean they're neck and neck. I mean I can appreciate that. And maybe my bias, honestly, like, listen, man, when it comes to comics, like what you own and what you don't own fuels your bias. I'll be the first to raise my hand on that. I have this. I don't have the 75, but but there's something about this book that is for me like just like the top of the heap for modern variants. But just my 2 cents.
Like I'll hear somebody like trashing a book, and I'm like, "Do you have this book?"
That's just it. If they had it, it would be a different conversation.
Right. You would see them be the biggest cheerleader for that character, for that book.
Yeah,
all day.
100%, 100%. All right. Wonder Woman number 28, the legendary J.G. Jones steampunk variant. A 9.8 of this sold early this year for $2,000, which is amazing given the current market. The high on this is $2,500 back in late 2024. So big bucks, no matter which way you slice it. 104 of these on the census, only 35 and 9.8. But this book is fucking awesome. I love this book.
Got a raw copy of this. I don't know. It feels like if I got this graded, all my grading mojo kind of like evaporated. So I probably get like a 9.6 or a 9.4 or some shit like that.
So just don't grade it. Just keep the dream in your head.
Yeah. At this point.
Yeah. This book is so good.
It just kind of makes you wonder why other steampunk variants don't go for as much.
I mean, this is crazy amounts, but some of them go for good money.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the best one.
Yeah.
But there's some that go for respectable, like the Batgirl. There's a few others that go for respectable amounts, but they're a far cry from this one.
I love this cover, but I'll give the edge to Starfire. Maybe just because I had been looking for that Starfire Teen Titan 75 for so long. You know what I mean?
And how you found it also.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Let's keep the show rolling.
Let's go.
All right. Sorry, this is not 28. This is 38.
38.
This is a typo, so apologies for that. I saw that as soon as it came up. So this is the Finch 1 in 100 variant. 275, even though it's a 1 in 100, there's 275 of these on the census. 159 in 9.8. 9.6 sold for 450 just this week, I believe. A high, the 9.8 of this, the high is 950 in 2022. I thought this book would have cracked grand by now, but hasn't. Yeah, just a legendary Wonder Woman cover.
Okay. I had a chance at this when it came out. My Comic Shop, referring to them again, at the time, they would have their variants for Wednesday. They would post them on like Tuesday night. And I remember seeing this up for, I don't know, maybe like 30, 40 bucks or something like that. But I didn't buy it because I didn't have the previous issues, the variants from the previous issue.
You're a strict adherent to the rules.
I'm like, I'm thinking about it now, and it's so vivid, such a vivid memory. It just like, what was I thinking?
Well, live and learn, man. Live and learn when it comes to this game. So
Yeah. I like David Finch. I loved him when he did Ultimate X-Men. That's when I first saw him.
He's one of the best. But anyways, yeah, beautiful book, man. So
I don't know. I kind of miss the New 52 aesthetic.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it.
All right. Getting into some indies here. So this is Spawn number 185. This is the headless variant. So there's a couple of these, so don't get too excited. But this headless variant is really, really tough. And Spawn fans are rabid as hell. So a 9.8 sold of this for $3,700 just this month, which is super respectable, considering the high back in early 2024 was about $4,000. So it hasn't moved a whole hell of a lot. Only 28 9/8 of this on the census, 151 in total, but not a book you see very, very often.
I don't know. I don't have that much to say about it. I know, like, how many versions are there of this?
There's more than two. I mean, so there's the cover A, the regular version, the headless. There's a couple other versions as well, but this is the one that goes for the big money.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, Spawn fans are crazy. Listen, if they can ever deliver, I've been saying this for a while, but if they can ever deliver anything Spawn media related, a video game that persists, a TV show, a cartoon, a movie, I think Spawn has really long legs.
I think the easiest thing to do would be a Spawn video game.
Yeah,
and we talked about this on Hot Book Alert Live. Just all they have to do is a really good video game, and like the floodgates will be even more busted open.
Total. Or even a good animated series would like on the Invincible level,
Mm-hmm.
like would carry this shit for a while, I think.
People won't.
All right. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. All right. Shout out to Bruce for hooking me up with this book on a trade. Something That's Killing the Children, #8. This is the Jeff the Call 1 in 25 variant. I mean, this book for me is perfection. If you want to talk to me about the Shih Tzu, fuck off. A raw sold for $860 last month, which is very respectable. A 9.8 of this went for $2,000 back in early 2023. 174 in the census. There was not 11 9.8s. That's a typo. It's probably like 118 or something like that. There's a fair amount of 9.8s, but yeah, just an amazing modern book. This is one of the lowest printed Something Is Killing the Children's books. I forget who's the dude who runs that place. He came out and listed what the lowest print runs were. I think this might have been the second lowest print run of all the books.
Ooh.
Second or third.
Ooh. Damn.
But yeah, this book is beautiful. One of DeCall's best. Michael says it's the second lowest. Okay, so I wasn't making that shit up. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful cover. Bruce, once again, bro, thank you. All right, let's get to some photo variants because this is the photo variant to own. It's funny, I offered this up for trade on IG. Nobody came at me with anything, but it's still out there if anybody wants to talk about it. So this is a ScarJo photo variant. A raw sold for $230 this month. A 9.8 of these are going for over $1,000 now, which is super impressive. 191 on the census, 83 and 9.8, which is low. I do have a 9.8 of this book, which I'm happy to say.
I used to have this. I think I found this at a shop for like $15 somewhere. But I used to have it.
Yeah, I mean this book is freaking perfection. Freaking perfection, man. My favorite comment about this book is that if you don't know, the back of this book is completely white, and people are like, "Well, somebody should sketch the reverse of this cover." I've never seen it, but if somebody ever pulls that off with the right artist, it could be a banger.
That would be perfect. I would love that.
But yeah, and I just found one of these at a con, and I offered it up to the community for a trade. So it's still there if anybody wants to trade something for this. Just hit me up with a cool offer. So.
What you got in mind?
I don't know, man. Like somebody just hit me up, man. I don't have. I'm just saying, send me something interesting. I don't.
I got you.
It's probably not a 9.8. It's not like banged up terribly, but the spine has a little bit of like. They're not really color breaking, but there's some like ticks on there. I think if somebody could probably clean it up, but I don't want to represent it as a 9.8.
Right.
All right, sticking with the ScarJo theme. One of my favorite modern variants. I do have this book. When I first got to know Carter, I challenged him because Carter to me was like he wasn't a real person. Like he could do things like normal humans couldn't do with the shit that he could find digging. So I said, listen, bro, if you can find this book, you will forever be an industry legend. But it doesn't show up very often. So this is Avengers Solo number 3. I can't find an artist, if anybody knows, but I can't find an artist to credit for this cover. It's just called a movie variant, so a 1 in 15 movie variant. A 9.6 of this sold for $430 in November of 2023. A 9.8 of this sold for $720 in 2021. This is one of those books that doesn't move enough to move the price. Like it's so fucking rare. 29 in the census, 9 and 9.8.
Do you think
I do have one of these.
Do you think it's the same artist that did those other Avengers
So
variants?
that's Ryan Minerding who did the other ones. I tried to see if it was him. I don't know, I guess is the answer I'd say. Like he did those other, like, they're drawings, but they're clearly like, based on the actual character, but I couldn't verify it. But that's Ryan Minerding who did those. And I would say maybe.
Why do I always want to say Ryan Mienberg? All right.
Dan, I think Al was doing like the art for the actual issues themselves, not not these covers. I could be wrong, but I think he was just the artist for like the interiors and the cover A's.
Damn it! I could have. No, I don't think I've ever seen this because I'm trying to remember. But I'm seeing. Okay, so no recent sales for this.
Nothing. So somebody on IG hit me up that they found one, but it was through like a friend or something, so it wasn't a public sale.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, I look for this. I dig like crazy. I've never seen this book in the wild. Like I said, I do have a copy of this thing, but I never see this book show up anywhere ever.
Okay.
This is one of those books that are like, in terms of modern variants, like you could see an escalation in price of this book, I think, because it never shows up. And if one does, someone's going to pay a crazy price for it.
Okay. So what about, did you hear that Scarlett Johansson took her name off of the Thunderbolts as an executive producer?
She removed it from the Thunderbolts? Really?
Yeah. Yeah, she did. I guess she didn't want to be associated with Marvel anymore.
They probably promised her something for her solo movie, and they were negged on her. I can imagine them being assholes.
Okay.
Which sucks. I mean, I love ScarJo. Like, it sucks. I did not hear that she removed her name from executive producer, which is a bad sign because they were supposed to do something else with her. Coming up, whether I think there was rumored to be like that Blonde Phantom movie or something, but that sucks.
Oh, yeah.
That sucks. All right. One of my favorite modern books, my favorite to call Super Ghosts. Forgive Me, Father, #2. A raw sold of this most recently for $425. A 9.8 of this sold for just under $1,300 back in 2023. Only 15 of these on the census, 12 and 9.8. But this is a super ghost. And by all accounts, there were less than 200 of these produced. It wasn't a ratio. It was a variant, but this is by Creature Entertainment. Just a very, very difficult book to come across. I've got 2 copies of this, and then a copy of the second print trade paperback that they use this image for. But yeah, just a ridiculously impossible modern book to find.
Are those copies raw?
I have a 9.6 CBCS witness autograph.
Yeah.
I have a raw of this one, and then the trade paperback is also raw.
So you merge that together to create a 9.8.
It should be like a 9. It should be like a 10 if I put all that shit. The trade paperback, by all accounts, I think the Creature guy said they did 50 of them.
Uh-huh.
So it's super rare, but but yeah, but this is one of my favorite call covers for sure. I mean, outside of like the peach, like the way that he was able to kind of keep her face kind of like in the dark, but like visible with the rosary, like he killed it on this one.
This is Chiaroscuro.
Very, very tough book to find. And like I said, the Creature guys who produced this said that they don't think they even did 200 copies of this book. 15 on the census, so super ghost.
Damn it.
All right. Here's a super tough book. Cobra 19. Antonio Fuso 1 in 10 variant. A 9.6 sold for $850 in May of last year. That's the high sale of this book. Only 9.8, which, if I'm not mistaken, is this Stein has the 9.8 of this book? Ben Stein?
There's only one? Holy crap.
Yeah, I think Ben Stein is the sole owner of the 9.8 of this book. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that that's the case. Super Ghost. Awesome book. Obviously, a shout out to Jimi Hendrix, but super cool book.
I had this.
No shit.
Yeah.
Was it 9.8 worthy, do you think?
It's tough to say. It might have been, but I did have this.
Did you get a nice price for it when you sold it?
I think so. I probably undersold it, but I remember being happy with the price.
Hey, Mike, we didn't put any Zenoscope ghosts on the show tonight. There's so many Zenoscopes ghosts, but unfortunately, there's none on the show tonight. But these last few books are just super ghosts. So
yeah.
But if you want a Zenoscope ghost show, we could do a whole show of them. There's so many of them. So
smut peddlers over at Zenoscope.
All right.
A point. Book. I'm sorry. A point that I wanted.
We're going to finish the show tonight with a book that we all love, Carter and I love. This is Cage #2 by Bruce Timm. This book I don't think has come anywhere close to seeing its ceiling, but the last night of this book was for 1100 back in April. I know Carter covered it on Hot Book Alert, which is also the high. 21 of these on the census, only 13 and 9.8. But this, for me, this is like one of those special books, man. Like the last few books, that Avengers Solo, this one, like I think there could be potentially be huge highs for these books at some point in the future.
I think so. I'm trying to hold on.
You lost Carter for a second. He's coming back. Back. But
yeah,
as hot as Bruce Timm is, there we go.
Gotcha, bitch. Look at it. Love his book.
I found one last summer for $40. So I'm super happy because I've been looking for this freaking book forever. But Tim just nailed this cover. Like this thing is virtually perfect, in my opinion.
Which one would you rather have? This book? Okay, let's say you don't have either. You don't have either of them. Okay.
Yeah.
What would you rather have? In the 9.8, Cage 2 or Legion of Superheroes, Supergirl and the Legion of Superheroes 23?
Ooh, lost. Oh, dude, that's a brutal question. All right. All right. The only reason I'm saying this, I'm going to say Cage 2.
Okay.
Because it's so freaking rare. Losh, you can find it if you want to pay the price for it. Cage 2 is not the case. Like you can't necessarily buy this book and you want to buy it because it's so hard to find. So Cage for me.
Okay.
But it's close. Like, I love... That doesn't take away that I think that Lost 23 is probably the most important modern variant. Like, I think that book sets itself apart for different reasons. But if you're saying one versus the other, for pure monetary perspective, I'm taking Cage too.
Where do you rank this this cover with other Bruce Timm? Let's just not say covers, but variants.
I mean, if you're going to set aside like the stuff that we covered on the show, like his Super Ghost
the stuff from
years,
like omitting the stuff from Griffin Publishing,
yeah, if we want to
and
admit
stuff like that, yeah,
this is at the very top end of the scale. This book right here, for sure. It's so hard to find, without question. Now, I have some of that Griffin stuff, which is amazing, but this thing, like, he nailed, like, well, first of all, it's his own style, but he nailed that like 70s, blaxploitation movie type vibe on this poster, like perfectly. Like this, like there's something special about this book.
Damn. Yeah. Okay. So there is Cage 4, the Art Adams cover. Like, that's what I noticed first when it came to these variants. And then my attention got turned to this. And I'd been on a quest to find it. I don't even know how I got this. I don't know if I got it online. I just don't remember. It's so weird. Like one day it just popped up in my collection. It's strange.
Oh, I remember this very well. I went to a con, paid through the nose to get into it, was pissed off the whole time digging, and I find this, and like, it's like the Holy Grail just rises up. Whoa! Like, it just made the whole day worth it, and came out of there feeling like I was walking on air. So,
you know what? It's the equivalent of like finding the comic is like when you're a kid, like finding a toy.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like getting a great Transformer or something like that.
It was like me finding like
store.
Snake Eyes and Timberwolf, that version of Snake Eyes, like in the store.
Yeah.
Or the Storm Shadow, which is even harder. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
so this is the Cage 4.
Yeah, this is a great book in its own right. Yeah.
Yeah. But actually, this is I think this is a foreign, but this is the artwork from that Cage 4.
This one is great too.
That is, yeah, I love that cover.
As good as it doesn't live up to this one for me, but it's fantastic in its own right. Yeah, this is a great book.
Well,
we're not done. All right. Ursa Minor, number 3. I mean, talk about ghosts. God damn it. This is a Natalie Sanders. It's called the Take Me Home edition. A raw of this sold for $6.21, late 2024. A 9/8 of this sold for $1,100 back in early 2021. Only 2 of these on the census, 1 and 9.8. I think these were limited to about $100, but like, this book is in Super Ghost status.
Yeah, I just started getting hip to Ursa Minor, and yeah, these covers are really tough to find. And so this is like a store variant or something like that.
I don't know if it was a store variant or what it was. There's so little information about it. Yeah, it was some limited run. I mean, these weren't the kind of books that were store variants for, but yeah, it was. I don't know if it was a con. It was associated with a con or something, but it's known as the Take Me Home edition.
Yeah,
and it's super hard. A lot of the databases don't even have it listed.
That's for sure. Great covers when it comes to Ursa Minor.
Yeah, this is this could be the #1 Natalie Sanders cover, to be honest with you.
And I can't find, like, these are so tough, or at least at a decent price.
Yeah, for sure.
That's it.
All right, that's it. That's the show. Hey, listen, big thank you. Everybody thank Carter for making this happen tonight. Without Carter, we would not be having the show. So much love. Shout out to Cover Price and Bird City, regular sponsors of the show. Matt DeVoe, his partner John, like great guys in the community. If you're not using Cover Price, you're missing out. The guys at Bird City and Laura, much love. And Yee, we missed you tonight, bro. Hope you're having a good time in Florida. We will see you. I think I'm out next week for traveling, but we'll be back shortly. But much love to Carter tonight for making this happen. Thanks, bro.
For sure. We will have more this Sunday on Hot Book Alert Live, Sunday nights. Stay tuned, everybody.
I will be in a hotel somewhere in New Jersey. If I can be on, I will be on. I just don't know what the situation is. So I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay, right on. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, Hot Book Alert Live this Sunday. And this was a great time talking comics. Always love talking comics. And we will see you next time on Nearing Nerdvana's channel. All right, everybody. Good night.
Peace.